What's going on, guys? It's your boy Thunder Boom back with another podcast from the Heretics Above. Um, in the studio today, we got Manny Nephilim,
Hi guys.
aka, he's top flight of the Diablo 4 community. And then we got the beautiful Brenda here, Death
Yeah.
Muffin. She's pretty good at her damn self. She hails from Boston, so we got a mixture of
Attitude.
authenticity in here, ethnic backgrounds. Texas, Boston, Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, and we're missing one colleague again this week. She's out due to surgery. And Wendy, we hope she gets to feeling better so she can get back because out of all the casual gamers,
She,
she's
she's planning
probably
on being on the next one.
yeah,
Yes.
she's really a casual gamer. So Wendy, we hope you get to feeling better. Get you
Yes.
back. You know, our thoughts and prayers are with you though.
Come
Anyway,
back. Come back. Come back.
yeah, I'm going to turn it over to Manny because he always seems to have the most thoughts and opinions, especially on D4. So, without further ado, Manny, let's listen to what you got to say, brother.
Yeah. I have received a couple of texts through the internet and the video we have been posted, and some guys are starting to call me the philosopher, and I don't like that tag, but I will try to behave at that level. Mainly because the main issue I have is regarding the true capacity or the true capability Blizzard is showing regarding the modifications that need to be taken care of. We talked a lot about this last podcast, but there seems to be a problem in terms of how they're managing their change management schemes over there. So, just to give some insight to what they're trying to do, if Blizzard, please hear this. If you want to really change the quality of the game we're experiencing, which we love, but it's not there yet, you need to play and try to deal and try to influence three variables. Just three. It's very easy. Number one, you really have to nurture the desire to add value to the players. Right now, with the updates we have been receiving and the latest patch that was deployed, I believe it was more a reactive effort from your part trying to appease the community than to truly desiring to expand our experience of the game. So please nurture the desire to elevate the quality we're experiencing on the game we love playing. Second, my God, you gotta have a freaking vision. You need to have the vision. What you envision as the true experience, the pinnacle experience for the Diablo 4 community. Really, I gotta be very critical about this. I haven't seen anything regarding a clear vision regarding that. And we're suffering. We're having problems, and we talk about this leveling, about the synergy of the gear, about the synergy of the skills, about the process of engaging people we do not know on the game. The game is like inducing distance from other players. Whereas on D3 we had the universal general chat and the specialized chats for each class, and we could engage anyone. Yesterday I did in the PTR. I was playing alone, then I changed to the normal game in seasons with the PTR. I need a help with the power level on the general chat, and boom! I was invited to a game, and I was helped by a complete stranger. That I do not have in D4. So please have a clear vision of the kind of community you want to build. And finally, the third variable, you gotta come up with a good plan, man. You gotta think, you gotta work hard, and you also have to organize the things you're gonna do, the phases in which you want to deploy the changes, and be clear about that to the community, because right now, my anxiety, and I'm talking in a singular term now, I am completely anxious because I don't see clarity regarding that. I don't want it to rant, but I wanted to make me heard. I know that people are waiting for this part. They want to smack with a good theoretical framework, the people from Blizzard. And I have here is my formula. That's the formula of change. Desire by multiplied by the vision and multiplied by the plan. That has to surpass the low gaming experience. So basically, that was my initial introduction, Thunder. I appreciate that you gave me the first turn at the bat.
I'm
Well,
laughing because I clearly remember us mentioning something about we shouldn't have to do nonlinear equations to play this game. And here comes Manny with a nonlinear fucking equation.
right. Yeah. I was looking at that. And I can tell how passionate you are too, because I mean, you were soaking up the oxygen, brother. I don't even think you took a breath during that whole
No,
spill.
I yeah, I have been thinking about this all week, and obviously I enjoyed so much the PTR, and I know you're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna mention the PTR, and also Muffin is gonna talk about. I love the PTR so much. I got excited again about the game. That's why.
You got to know it, man. That the PTR that just to get a break. You know, Brenda said it best last week. She was going to pull me back into D4, and I did. I jumped in and I created a druid, and you know, my whole thing about the last week or the last couple weeks of what I wanted Blizzard to try to take care of in the patch that they didn't do was fix the respawn points where you could respawn right there where you died and then give us a certain window to get out of it, or we could revive at the checkpoint. With the druid, that's really needed because my druid's overweight, he's big, and he can't run that. It takes forever to get back up there, dude. And that's the worst thing. D3, and I'm going to say Diablo series general, it's all about killing monsters. That's the grind.
Definitely.
Everybody wants to kill. We want to kill stuff. We don't want to be walking around for 30 seconds with nothing there to do. I mean, the whole point of the game is to kill. Y'all gave us a little more density, which is very appreciated, especially in the leveling process. But if you're respawning a mile away from them and then you have to run back to them, it defeats the point of adding more monsters. I want to get back into action. The action's where the monsters are, not where the monsters aren't. If you can't kill them, you ain't getting no XP. So we need to get a little bit more efficient with the ways we get our XP, so it don't take as long. And back when I, I back you on what you said about as far as not the leveling process. I don't. I feel like we need to have a community or something where we can power level a little bit. I'm not saying going all the way to 100, but if I could get to 50 in 20 minutes and then take the rest of the time to get to 100 for the rest of the season, it's fine. But I started my new character, like I said, and yeah, you got to do all your grind all over again. You're not getting any. The only thing you get your altars and what else? Help me, guys. What else do you get? You
Is it
get
Yeah,
you get
the
two out
renown,
of
the
yeah
renown
on your renowns. You
and the
only get
paragon.
yeah yeah, but you don't get um your strongholds. You
Nope.
get one and two. That's it. Three, four, and five in each city. That's all you get. I mean, three, four, and five. You gotta do all that renowned all over again. Even if you went through all 100 plus dungeons on your first character, when you start another seasonal character, you got to do them dungeons again. Now,
Definitely.
it lets you keep your aspects, but it don't. You got to for anybody that is playing a seasonal character right now, stick to one unless you just really want to do that grind. And that's just my thoughts on it. I'll let Brenda go in and talk about her grind.
it's still going. That's got to tell you one thing. I will say that with the patch, as a necro using a corpse heavy build, the density is very much appreciated. It makes my gameplay a little bit better, which is great. But again, I've been playing since the 1st of June. We're pushing September 1st in a couple of weeks. I'm only at 90. You know, I got another 10 levels to go. And to get from 89 to 90, Jesus, I'm beginning to wonder if I'm even going to be able to make it to 100. And I can't even imagine starting another build. I know I won't, and that's sad. You know, I normally I do 2 or 3 builds with 2 or 3 characters in a season. I'm not going to be able to do that with D4. I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't have the patience for it. So there's that. I did enjoy. I have been enjoying the foray into D3 again. I like the changes they did. I like the new season that's coming up. I do. I like it. It's nice to be able to feel like I'm actually moving along and I'm finding gear that's helping me, and I'm able to tell that it's helping me versus, you know, having to do those nonlinear equations to figure out if something is better than something else that I have picked up. I do not like that. I also like that, you know, when I die, I'm spawning right where I died, unless I don't want to.
Definitely.
And
Oh,
that to me is just that is a that needs to be done, because yeah, I was thinking about you, Thunder. Yesterday morning I was playing and I was drinking my coffee, and I was like, and I don't even know why this happened, and it doesn't even seem like there's a rhyme or a reason to where you're respawning. I mean, you can't even tell where you're going to respawn. I was literally at the opening to go down and beat the boss in a dungeon, and it died. And it respawned me all the way back 2 boards at the front of the gate. And I had to run through 2 dungeons to get to where I was before. And it took me like 6 minutes just to run through it, because it was
Horrible.
just slow. And it's like, it's plotting. And I'm like, that needs to not, that needs to not
yeah, and this should
happen.
only take you 6 minutes to do the whole damn dungeon.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm sitting at a level 90. It shouldn't take that long. It's just that, you know, it's just it's slow. It's a slow process, and you have to keep checking the map to see where it is you're going. I mean, the mini map that you have is nothing like it, and getting there. I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe it's just me, and it very well could be. I just think it's harder than it needs to be, and I can't even say it's harder. It's more
Annoying.
yeah, it's more annoying. It's cumbersome, and it doesn't have to be. And that's what aggravates me, is it does not have to be that way. Why they did that, I still don't know. I'm trying to figure out, you know, what was the thought process behind it. I mean, who actually sat there and said we're going to have them respawn
Randomly.
randomly, and it's random spots. It's. I mean, the only time you know you're going to respawn right at the front of the dungeon is if you die right at the front of the dungeon. But you can be anywhere on that map, and it could respawn you 2 meters away, or it can respawn you on the previous map.
Yeah, I was respawned once in Kiavachat.
I just don't get it. I don't get it, because it was that one where you have to travel through those stupid portals to get to the sea hag, whatever, and take those down before you can go kill the main boss. And it literally put me to the front of the dungeon, and like out through the portal to the front of the dungeon. Didn't even respawn me at the portal. Just shoop, all the way back to the beginning. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, but that said, I do like I can't complain, and I won't complain about the patch, the latest patch. I won't complain about that, because my game experience has improved, which is saying something considering how much I've just said negative about it. But my game experience has improved on D4. Um, but I'm really enjoying D3 again. So, yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be one of those things where as soon as I get to 100, I'll be playing D3, and I will not be thinking about D4 until the new season comes out. And I hope to God they make some of these changes by then, because not being able to save your builds, save your Paragon board, respawn where you die. These are all just easy little changes that can be made that will improve the gaming experience for me.
Yeah. If I may, a quick comment.
Or I'm done.
Obviously, we have this psychological insatisfaction because first they screw the experience with the other patch. And that's just to try to explain the psychological insatisfaction that we have. First, they screw the game, then they try to level the game to where it was and a little bit more, and they expect us to be satisfied. No. I'm gonna say what Thunder said with a different metaphor. Blizzard, we only lost our virginity once. Just once. Not 2 times, not 3 times, not freaking 4 times. So, if you want to resemble some sort of rational approach to the community experiencing the game with a very elevated sense of satisfaction, man, we just lost the virginity once. We ran the darn tune to 100. Thunder did that. I'm not. I'm 85, and I'm really thinking I'm not gonna take it to 100. My Barb, which I love, my Barb he looks very cool with the new armor, by the way. So I gotta make that comment there. The armors look cool. They're freaking expensive, but they look cool. And I have some spare change. I will buy some, but I lost my virginity once. So I want to lose my virginity once in the season, man. It's a simple design. It's not complex. So that's my 2 cents regarding what Thunder and Brenda were just sharing.
Well, I wouldn't say, you know, about the virginity thing, but that's your analogy of it. My analogy of it is, I'm probably, I'm definitely not going to level my druid all the way. I'm having a lot more fun with D3. I am. I think D3,
Yes.
the mechanics of it, and I don't know if it's just because that's what we were used to for so many years, and D4 is a totally opposite game. I mean, it's still a gear grind game, you know, but I'll give you a perfect example. I'm happy with the patch, as Brenda said. I'm happy with the patch too for D4. I think they did good, but I think they still need a lot more balancing with the characters, because
Yeah.
even with all they did for the wizard or the sword, I cannot. I can't get above like 85 as far as running dungeons. The moment I get to like 90 plus, I don't even have to be, I could be standing off screen and one of the archers hit me one time. I don't even see the archer. It's off screen and it hits me.
Yeah.
I'm dead. There's still no survivability with with the sword. There's no, there's no tankiness whatsoever, and it makes for a very bad play style when I can't run in there and attempt to try to kill stuff. But the way you have to play it, if you do want to try to push higher dungeons with a sword, is you have to try to keep everything pretty much off screen or right at the edge of the screen, and then fire your ice shards at them, and then try to dodge what they're coming. Because if you get full circle and you get 10 enemies around you, you're not going to do it because your survivability is just not that great. And the drop rates, I mean, you got good drop rates. You really do. You get all kind of gear, but you don't get the stuff that you need on your gear. And that makes it for even harder because you can't. How many pieces of gear have y'all got that you really said, oh, this is a good piece of gear? It's got 3 stats. I can roll this one off and, roll for what I need. No, you'll get 2 decent stats and 2 shitty stats. Or you'll get 1 decent stat and
Um,
3 shitty stats.
or you'll
And
get something that does have three
yeah.
stats, and you roll it and you completely ruin it because what you roll is nowhere near what you need, and you can't get what you need. So it's just it's junk.
So I like
Yes.
being the straightforwardness of D3. You get a piece of gear. I know right now in the PTR everybody's going and buying and then just re-rolling till they get perfect primal gear and this and that and blah blah blah. That's typical PTR. You're not going to get that good stuff in season. You're going to have to grind for it, just like you have to grind for it in D4. But the grind for it in D3 is way more worth it than the grind for it in D4. Uh,
Yes.
what to get a primal in D3, it's like 1 out of 400, 1 out of 600 drops. That goes for if you're rolling it, if you're at, you're trying to roll it through the cube. That is 1 out of 4 to 1 out of 600. 400 to 600 rolls, you're going to get a good one. And even if it's primal, it still may be a shitty primal, but at least you know what stats. If you got 2 good stats on it, you know you're going to get the other one. Because when you go roll it, that's all it's going to roll. And I like that. I like that. I have more fun playing that style because you know what you're going to get when you go roll it. Oh yeah, you don't know what you're getting when you're rolling stuff on D4. You don't. There's no window to tell you, okay, these are the 6 stats you can get on it. You're going to get 1 out of these 6 stats. Now, you still may have to roll the son of a bitch 1,000 times to get that one stat, but at least you know it is achievable.
Yeah, you have the chance.
So
Yeah.
I'm having fun with D3, and it's going to be. I know this is their last season, but Blizzard, I'd encourage you not to end the seasons. I would encourage
Yeah.
you to do kind of what Path of Exile is going to do when Path of Exile 2 comes out. Kind of stagger your seasons. Give people a break from D4. Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of people are going to drop this game if changes don't happen. And I hate to see that, and I don't want that to happen because I think D4 visually and the game is stunning, and I think it's a great game. I just think the gameplay and the game style and the lack of stuff to do. I've heard other streamers and stuff talk about, well, there's a lot to do. You can do Hell Tides, you can do this, and some of that stuff's fun. It's only fun for so long. Even in
Yeah, it's
D3,
not that's not that.
nobody loves to run for mats. I mean, that's the most hated thing. But with this new season for D3, jump through a portal, you get mats. You get 40 mats at the end of each one. It takes a little bit of the grind out. You're still going to have to grind so you can re-roll. You can get your mats and you can re-roll. But it adds a lot more fun because every time you go into one of them portals, you don't know what you're going to get. Hell, I was fighting elites in town. I mean, in town was a new
I like
map.
that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, that's crazy. And when you get tired of when you can't go no further with your pushing, running solo self found, you can always go do that, get your mats up, and then go, if you got shit gear, go re-roll it.
Definitely.
Instead of running bounties all the time. Or you can run bounties, and while you're running bounties, jump in one of them portals and get 40 extra mats.
Yes.
So, I mean, it helps you as a player to try to get stuff. D4 is not helping you try to get anything. They want,
No.
because the more you have to play more. The more you play, maybe if I play 40 hours this week, I'll get that piece of gear that I need. Then you don't get it. Well, I'm going to play 40 hours more next week. Still don't get it. It keeps the players coming back to try to get the gear that's never going to drop for them. I don't know what the rate is. I'd really like to know what the rate is to get 3 good stats on a piece of gear out the gate.
That's an interesting question. I'd like to know
So
myself.
1 in 10,000, 1 in a million.
Feels like it.
I mean, I'd really like to know what the stats are. I'm not saying get a perfect piece of gear, but to get 3 out of 4 stats that you need, what are the odds? You could probably win the Powerball faster than you could get that piece of gear.
And if it's going to be that hard to get it, why are you making it that hard to get it? I mean,
Yeah.
why is it that hard? I mean, if it's something that can absolutely happen, it shouldn't be that difficult
No.
to
And
happen.
I don't think it should be that difficult, and I don't think it should be that easy either. I don't think they should just give you the gear. But if you're sitting there putting in the hours and putting in the hours, I think you should be rewarded for it somehow,
Agreed.
because we don't have the hours to put in like some of the big streamers do. I mean, even Woody and Rex and all the top streamers that stream this game, they put hours and hours and hours in to get the gear that they get and the gold that they get to re-roll and re-roll and re-roll. So it's really no different from them. The only difference is they have the hours and hours and hours and hours. And if we play 2 hours a day and then the game resets because we log out and then log back in a day later or 2 days later, we're at a start over point to get to that certain number. Then we log out and then we're at a certain point to get to that number. Well, you can see where I'm going with this. It just keeps repeating and repeating.
Yeah.
So you're never going to get what
Yep.
you want.
Yeah.
Nope.
You could put 1,000 hours
Listen.
in the game and still never get what you want because you're not playing it as consistent for as long a time as they are. So, yeah, I'm done with it. I'm back
So-
to D3.
So let me ask you a question about D3 and about the PTR and about the portals in particular. What do you like and what do you dislike about it? Before we close this up, what do you like about the portals? What do you dislike about the portals?
I love the portals. I think the portals are a great addition. I don't see any disadvantages to the portals. The only thing that I have a little bit of problem with the PTR, and I'm sure that they're probably going to address this anyway. And a lot of people have been sending feedback, but I think the Paragon cap's just a little too low. I like the fact that it's 800, but you still getting your Paragons, but you can only use 800 of them. You can get to 3,000 Paragon if you want to, but you're only using 800 of them. So that 3,000 will still carry over to your non-seasonal character. You'll still get that percentage of it. But I think they need to raise the cap up to, I'd say 2,500 to 3,000, 2,000 to 3,000, because it's going to make it really, really hard with 800 Paragon. I mean, I like the fact that you can put 200 in each stat on each different board, but I still think you need
But
a
can you
little
really?
bit more. Yeah. Yeah, you can only use 800.
Can you really?
Yeah, you can only use 800.
Right, you can only use 800 Paragon. Right, you can only use 800 Paragon.
Yeah.
So how are we putting 200 into each stat on each board? We're not. We're not going to be
No,
able
you're
to.
putting
We're going to have to
into
pick and
one
choose
stat
eventually.
on each board. You can put 200 into one stat on each board. Or you can put 50, 50,
Right.
50, 50. You can put 200 in one stat. It's
Yeah, I did that.
yeah. I mean, it gives you a bunch
Okay.
better ways to play than capping out at 50 on each stat. You can put 200 in an individual stat if you want 200 crit chance. say you're playing an area damage build, but you can't roll anything on. You can't never get no area damage. Used to you could only put 50 points in area damage. Now you can put 200 in area damage if you want to. Now, if you put 200 in area damage, you're not going to put anything else on that board. You see what I'm saying? You can actually, if you need crit on your rings, crit chance and crit damage on your rings, you can go in, and if you don't get that on your rings and you want to use something else, you can put all your crit damage and crit chance in your Paragon. You can put 100 in each.
But it robs from the other one, you know,
Yeah,
and
it robs from the other one.
that
But it gives you a
that's
certain way.
that
You don't
that's a
play
tough
with all
decision.
those stats anyway. Like I like to play wizard, and a lot of wizard builds you don't need cooldown reduction. So instead of me putting 50 points in cooldown reduction when I'm leveling up my Paragons, I don't have to put them in cooldown reduction because I don't need it. I can put it in area damage, that 50 points in area damage, or I can put it in crit chance, or I can put it in crit damage, or movement speed. I can kind of play the build how I want to play it. What I'm saying is I don't think 800 Paragons are enough, though. Not
No,
for
I
the
don't
end
either.
game.
No, I agree.
I'd like to see them do it about at least 2,000, 2,500 at a minimum. I mean, I get
I
what they're
agree.
trying to do. They're trying to keep, the botters and all that stuff, but they can still bot. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be Paragon based no more, but who's to say they ain't running their bots to run bounties and get mats so they can re-roll all their shit to have perfect gear? Well, you and I both know it's hard in that game to get perfect gear,
Yeah.
too. But it's a lot easier in that game than it is D4. I will say that because you don't have to have all primals to go do a 150 in D3.
No.
Oh.
What about you, Manny? What do you like? What do you dislike about the portals?
Well, I love the portals because they are a very nice addition to a very near perfect game. So it adds a lot of excitement, a lot of uncertainty because they spawn randomly as soon as you are doing the damage in any of the levels. And as soon as you enter them, you start killing and killing and killing and getting and getting and getting and killing and killing and killing and getting and getting and getting. So the ratio, the proportional satisfaction of ratio of kill death per minute and gear you get and materials you get per minute is satisfying. I love it. The other thing I love, because we did that today, is that Thunder and me started the PTR playing alone with the solo self whatever mode that they call that. We did that. I'm almost 725 alone, which was cool. I created yesterday another tune on the share part of the seasonal PTR. Thunder came in, we got together, and he wanted me to help him power level. We just put one darn nightmare, echoing nightmare stuff on the cube.
Yes.
We ran that. He died immediately. Immediately that we started, something spawned and killed him. And I told him, stay relaxed because at the end I'm gonna revive you and you will level up to 100 Paragon. Effectively, as I said, he was dead. I brought it up to 127. The nightmare, that nightmare stuff, and when I revive him and we open the coffin, the treasure box. Bam! 167 65 Paragon Thunder in just 4 minutes. And that's what I was trying to say using the virginity analogy. We invested the first character we created, then we can leverage on the other tunes we create and we help our friends. So that's the way you build a community. So Thunder is happy. He has his sorcerer on the self solo found. He has his sorcerer on the seasonal shared part of the game, and he's already smoking it. So man, we just want to have some fun.
Yeah, and I got to say that's one thing that I do like about D3 that I hate about D4 is that you can do that because when you're playing solo self found, and you decide you do want to go play with your friends, you can't carry your gear over with you like you could in previous seasons unless you're playing non solo self bound, which, you know, I like. I like both because you can play one and try to hit the leaderboards,
Yeah.
and then you can play regular solo, where you can play with your friends too as well. But that's my second tune. When I the solo self found with wizard that I played, it's fun to play by myself. When I want to play with you, I didn't want to have to go back through for 2 hours or whatever it took to get to 70 and then start all over with the Paragon again. I want to play the same
Right.
wizard that I'm playing solo self found, and you were able to power level me, and then
Yeah.
especially when season starts, you're not gonna be able to go buy caches to get your gear. You're gonna have to go farm for it. I love that. I love to go farm for my gear. That's the point
Yeah.
of the game. But I still have all my skill points that I can put in something. If somebody's power level me, if I'm already 3,000 Paragon on one character, I want to be 3,000 Paragon on this other character. I just want to go grind for my gear, grind for the stuff that
Definitely.
I need. I don't want to have to grind for the gear and turn around and grind for the Paragons all over again. That's the beautiful thing about D3, which is the
Yeah.
shitty thing about D4. Because if you start a second character,
Yeah.
you're screwed all the way around, and I hate it. I don't like it.
I don't blame you. And that's the reason why I won't be starting a second character in D4. I'm just hoping I can get mine to 100, and then it's going to be D3 until the new season in D4, because, I mean, there's no reason for me to stay playing in D4 once I hit 100.
That's what they want us to do because that's what the design is inducing in terms of behavior. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna have fun. Definitely, we're gonna have fun in D3. We're gonna grind and suffer in D4 because we love the game. That's the way a marriage works. You have to grind it, and I am married to the game. But man, at least induce the sense of community by helping new players leverage on the progression of older or senior players in the D4 game, man. Because that way I could take that druid that Thunder is going to abandon and declare an orphan. We could take that orphan and take it to 100 easily. And he has put the hours, man. He lost his virginity. That's the last thing I'm gonna say, guys.
Yeah, but the difference between you and me, I might be married to that game, but I signed a prenup and I can divorce that bitch real quick. I can I can take my money and
I
spend it
understand.
elsewhere. I can assure you of that.
Definitely.
So closing
I don't
thoughts.
think I don't think it'll end up getting there. I think Blizzard will do what Blizzard always does, and they'll eventually get it to where it needs to be, and it's going to require us being a little bit more patient than maybe we're willing to be. Maybe I'm talking to myself. I'm talking about myself. It'll get there. It's not there yet, but we still have D3 to play. So I mean, while they're working on it, I don't think they should stop doing the seasons in D3 either. But I'm just going to come out and say it. I have no problem replaying seasons because there's some epic seasons out there that I would love to replay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm good with that. The seasons that I've missed,
Well,
I'm good with that.
I agree with you on that. I'm gonna have to be good with it because I'd rather go back and play D3's seasons than play D4 right now. I mean,
Right.
I'm a,
Definitely.
I'm gonna be
Right.
sad when the PTR ends and hope it's only like a week before the season starts after
Yeah, I got my fingers
PTR.
crossed. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
my fingers crossed. It's only a week as well.
you
Well,
know.
with that note, I think we can call it a day for this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Blizzard, please take into account what we're saying. We're fans of you, Blizzard. Please don't keep screwing up the game. Please hear us and don't ban me because I tell you the truth. Because I'm accustomed to speaking truth to power. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, get the book from Adam Bildovsky. He's from San Francisco, by the way. So please do your homework and read stuff. You need the community to talk to you truth, and you are the power, and I talk the truth. So that's all for me, guys.
Get 'em, Manny.
And remember,
Get
if
'em.
anybody is watching this, if you have questions or you want us to cover any particular topic, make sure you like, share, follow, quote, comment below, and we'll make sure we bring it up.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been a good one. We'll do it again next week and give
Hopefully.
Yes, sir.
see if anything changes.
You're
Probably
right.
not, but
In the name of
we'll
God,
see how it goes.
take care.
Take care.
Mystic.
Bye.
Bye.